This happened about 25 miles southeast of where I'm standing here at Wrightsville Beach. And the men say it started as a routine fishing trip until they spotted that great white.
The video gives you chills. Watch as this 18-foot great white comes in for a close encounter.
I felt like I was at SeaWorld.
But it wasn't SeaWorld at all. Matt Garrett, who's visiting from Boston, and some of his friends were just 25 miles from the coast on a routine fishing trip. He says the fish stopped biting, and then they saw the fins.
You think it's two dolphins or something? Two dolphins pretty far apart. Those two dolphins turned out to be like one giant shark.
Garrett captured this video with his iPhone.
4S has an HD video in it, and God, did it pay off. 2 weeks into owning the thing.
It sure did, especially in the eyes of Paul Barrington at the North Carolina Aquarium at Fort Fisher. He confirms this is indeed a great white.
I was jealous, I was envious. I would love to be able to be in that position.
He says it's rare to see them off our coast, but sightings do happen. However, they're hardly ever caught on tape.
They did the right thing. They didn't harass it. They took some excellent video of it, and they're very fortunate. That's something that they will never forget.
Barrington says the shark was likely curious about the boat and the fishing activity. Garrett says that curiosity even went a step further.
He was going straight for us, like T-bone, like about to T-bone us, and he nudged us with his nose, turned around very quickly, and slapped the side of the boat with his tail.
Now he has a fish tail he won't soon forget.
Down here on Thanksgiving, and I'm very thankful for this giant 18, 19-foot gray white that I saw. It's definitely once in a lifetime, so it was a lot of fun to be out there.
And Garrett says that shark was about 18 feet long. How did they know how long it was? Well, the boat was only about 20 feet. It just really reminds you of that famous quote from the movie Jaws. We're going to need a bigger boat.
We just got to the scene here and we were talking to some officials with Brunswick County, and they do say that 2 people were taken to New Hanover Regional Medical Center with non-life-threatening injuries. And I'm not sure if Ben can zoom in much closer to that boat that you see out there, but from what I understand, that is the helicopter upside down that's in the water. We were trying to bring you a shot from near the pier, and police told us that they would arrest us from over there if we didn't get out of the way. So they told us we had to come back to our hotel. We could do whatever we wanted on hotel property, but if we go off hotel property, they said they would arrest us. That's how serious they're taking this curfew tonight.
We are at 3rd and Nunn, and this is where they are pulling this man out of a privy that he fell into while he was digging some antique glass. He was actually in the hole, and it caved in around him. We've been out here for about an hour and a half now, and it looks like they are ready to pull him out of this hole. We're told he's in stable condition.
Sir, are you okay? Can you give us a thumbs up? All right. As rescuers shuttled Patrick Barnes into an ambulance, he gave us a sign that he's okay. Barnes was stuck for hours in a hole in the backyard of a home at the corner of Nunn and 3rd Streets. Well, that's right. Quanisha Mullins tells me that months of bullying led her to make the wrong choice. Tonight, she's hoping other parents learn from her mistake.
And it got to the point that he couldn't take it any longer.
Quanisha Mullins says bullying brought her son to the breaking point and pushed him to do this.
That's right.
She says her frustration led her to encourage him.
Stop getting on the ground. Get him up. You stand up.
Today, she admits she made the wrong choice.
When I came out just to see him actually engaging in a fight, it was just like, wow, he's standing up for himself and he's not walking away. But it was wrong, and I apologize for my actions, but it was just made me proud that he actually stood up for himself.
The video ended up on YouTube, and she ended up being charged with contributing to the delinquency of a juvenile and child abuse. Mullins blames both of their actions on frustration. She says her 12-year-old has been the victim of bullying at Holly Shelter Middle School, on the school bus, and in her neighborhood.
I teach him to walk away, but he's a child in a high-poverty neighborhood, a high-crime neighborhood. If you keep on walking away, you seem weak. And I guess he reached his breaking point.
Mullins says she reported the bullying to school officials and the housing authority. She even talked to the parents of the other children involved, but says her concerns were ignored.
And as a parent, I felt like I followed all of the proper chain of command and had nowhere else to turn.
The fight happened at the bus stop, and when Mullins saw it, she got involved, an action she regrets. Today, she says she shouldn't have egged her son on, but she is commending him for standing up to a bully.
I feel like I advocated violence, which that wasn't my issue. That wasn't what I was trying to do. I was just trying to advocate my child stand up for herself.
Mullins is a community leader there in Creekwood. She is also going to college at CFCC on a scholarship. She wants to become a social worker and help other parents. Now, she hopes her story will be a cautionary tale for other mothers and fathers. Mullins will go to court next month to face those charges against her. Meantime, she's meeting with school officials tomorrow to talk about what can be done to prevent her son from being bullied. Reporting live in the studio, I'm Ashley Kozakowski, WECT News. An out-of-control driver makes a mess out of Shipyard Boulevard this afternoon, hitting a couple cars before crashing. Now, I actually witnessed this whole thing on my way to work, and you're looking at video WECT photographer Mike Pelzer shot with his cell phone. He also saw this whole thing go down. Now, this was taken after the driver crashed into a pole. Now, before this, I was actually sitting at the stoplight at Shipyard and 17th when all of a sudden I saw this driver heading south on 17th. He sped through the light, crossed into the wrong lane of traffic, and then hit at least 2 cars sitting at that intersection.
I want my money back and I'm not going anywhere. Call the police.
Hilda Cotton is one of the victims of the reported scammers inside this church on 17th Street. She's one of the few that came back to demand her money back.
I find out after my daughter called that it's a fraud.
Today, a group set up shop here, claiming they're signing folks up for the Black Farmers Settlement. The fee, $20 to notarize the form. Reverend Stephen Bradley claims he knows nothing about the group that used the church, but blocked us when we were trying to get close to them. If it's not a scam, then they don't need to be hiding.
And it seemed like they were trusting.
Okay. Now, instead of getting to talk to the scammers behind this locked door, a woman who introduced herself as a church member came out and tried to offer an explanation.
I don't know what this is. I really don't.
Is this a scam or what's going on?
No, it's not a scam. I mean, if it's a scam, how do you think people will come in and just give their money to people? Why would it be a scam? I don't work for the government.
Well, then who here does? And who here is handing this out saying they're working for the government?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know who did it.
All right. Well, it sounds like we aren't getting any real answers here.
She denies that the form was handed out here inside the church. The answers, or lack thereof, I found pretty frustrating.
This is crazy. This is crazy. We don't know where this paper came from, and people are telling me they're handing out these papers in here.
It's not ours.
Whether the church members had any idea of what was going on, or if they also were victims of this group, remains to be seen.
This sounds it just sounds shady.
Mm-hmm. It very well could be.